7:14 on a Monday, last day of August.
It is. Here comes September. Man, this year's going by in a hurry, isn't it?
Zippity-doo-dah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Walmart ain't putting up Christmas decorations.
I don't doubt that they aren't, man. I don't know. I haven't looked, but
The funniest thing I've ever seen.
it gets earlier every year.
Oh, I know. I saw one time, I don't know what store it was in, but I saw a Christmas ornament hanging from the ears of a Halloween skeleton one time. That's combining the holidays.
Yes, it is.
So what's going on?
Oh, busy. We're busy at work. Hey, after this week, we get a holiday, so I'll just go ahead and preempt you on your.
You gonna be here next week?
I don't know. I may be on a motorcycle in parts unknown. I don't know.
Oh man!
But yeah, we got a 3-day weekend coming up, and if anybody's got anything they need done before they hit the road, give us a shout this week. We'll fit you in. We got some time on the schedule, and yeah, last week was a good week.
Yep, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Drive east on that motorcycle. I had a good time in Tennessee.
Knowing us, we're going to wind up either over around Jasper, Mountain View, somewhere in there, we always do, or maybe up in Missouri. We crap right up there and go across the Peel Ferry.
Yep.
And eat at Tony's Pizza up there. We get regimented in what we do.
Oh, so let's see. We got some questions for Mmmm Mechanic.
Okay.
My 1993 Silverado, the wipers work when they want to, or when they want to, and they lock up in a position. What is that?
And park in the up.
Oh yeah, that sounds like
little
circuit board.
Yeah, we used to have a lot of those. Those trucks are kind of fading away a little bit now. But that used to be a very common issue that we would see on the Chevys. Most likely they have got a wiper circuit board in the wiper motor. Mm-hmm. Those things will develop a defect in them, and sometimes they wouldn't work. And you could go out there and wiggle the wire and harness where it goes into the motor, and all of a sudden they're working.
Yeah. And
they may quit here in 2 minutes, but they would be working. And sometimes those things would lose its contact on that board, and it'd park right where you need to look through the windshield, of course. And those circuit boards are not that hard to replace, and they should be available at any parts store.
I used to know the actual GM factory number on those things.
Yeah. They had a run of a bunch of bad ones, back there in those early 90s and all. And my goodness, in the wintertime, it seemed like when people use their wipers a lot, we used to replace them things. We'd 2 or 3 a day, it seems like.
Funny.
Yeah. That's a fairly simple repair. Yeah. I can't just swear that that's what it is, but I'd be willing to place a small bet that'll fix your wipers.
99%?
Yeah. I'd be willing to go a little bit on that one.
What about a blower motor on an 05 Chevy? Works on only one speed. That could be a programmer. It could be a blower switch.
Yeah, it could be your fan speed switch maybe. But I on that one I'm going to go with my best guess is a blower motor resistor. That resistor varies the amount of amperage it gets to that blower motor, and that's what speeds it up and slows it down. And those things run hot.
Yes.
They get very, very hot. And most of the manufacturers mount them somewhere up and around the blower motor to where they get air flowing over them to try to keep them halfway cooled off.
My old Chrysler products, literally it's a little, about 2, 3, 4 inches square piece, went right in the air draft system of the unit. Yeah.
And we see those, especially in hot summertime when people's running that air conditioner just flat out all the time. And they burn out pretty regular. And when they do, you'll lose all but one speed typically. You'll still have one speed that works. And those blower resistors, now some of them are fairly easy to change. Some of them are a bit of a bear because, you'll pull glove boxes out and things like that to dig in there and find them. And but that would be my first guess on that is to chase after that blower resistor. The the good news is typically those things aren't terribly expensive. They're not going to just shock the socks off of you when you price them. Again, sometimes depending on the car. Now some of them are a bear to change, but not too bad, not real bad. We do them all the time.
No.
Yeah, we do a bunch of them. Yep, blower resistor is my guess on that one, and there's another one I'd be willing to bet that'll fix it.
Interesting. What type of work you doing? Service work do you do on diesels?
A little bit of everything, Dale. We don't do diesel engine repair. We don't get into injectors and all these things that go along with a diesel engine. What we do on them is we do oil changes, of course, fuel filters, air filters.
No spark plugs, right?
No, we haven't done any spark plugs in a while. Oh, Dale's cute this morning. No, we haven't done any spark plugs. And
now the buzzword's going to go all right. Well, they don't do spark plugs on diesels.
Yeah. I knew those guys didn't do much up there. But oil changes, air filters, fuel filters, of course, the usual stuff with brakes and shocks, and we do suspension work on the trucks and all, transmission service, differential service, all that kind of stuff. We can charge your air conditioner. We can do things like that. We do a lot of service work, I guess, on the components surrounding the diesel engine, but we don't do anything such as injector pumps and the like.
That can get pretty that can get pretty tedious. And
yeah, and it can be it's very expensive. When you start tearing into those diesel engines, it seems like it gets expensive really quickly. And we don't have anybody up there that's done diesel engine work. We just don't get into it. We do all the other stuff. We can service it, and we service a ton of diesel trucks.
Yeah.
Man, diesels
what
have gotten very popular
now.
Everybody,
I'm
going to say everybody, 99% of the people that come in and when we do oil changes on our diesels run Shell Rotella 15W40.
I didn't know if that had changed or not.
It's going to. That newer Ford diesel is changing the weight. I think they've run with I want to say 10W30.
Wow, in a diesel.
Yeah, but most all of them are still 15W40.
I saw a sign along the interstate coming back. I was on I-40 heading west, of course, and you know how they have all the billboards out there. One of them said DEF at the pump.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diesel exhaust fluid.
Yes. Whenever we went over to, when we was going to Denver a couple of weeks ago, we were at a couple of stations that had that diesel exhaust fluid available at the fuel pump. And, so many of these newer ones, they've got to have it, and the people that come in that I talk with about it will tell you, that diesel exhaust fluid, if you're not pulling a load, it lasts, that little tank of DEF lasts quite a while. If you've got a trailer behind it and working that engine, it'll go through your diesel exhaust fluid fairly quickly.
Yeah.
So.
And my uncle has the Fiat diesel in a Dodge, big, beautiful Dodge truck, and it's got a gauge on the dashboard for DEF.
We had a newer Dodge in the other day that was a diesel, and it had a gauge on the dash for your diesel exhaust fluid. And
the times are changing,
aren't they though? And
is that you or me? Phone call.
Sorry about that.
Well, I just got a text message.
I usually have that thing.
Two people aren't listening.
I usually have that thing shut off. Diesel exhaust fluid. Yeah, they do. I saw a couple of stations on our trip out there that had it available at the fuel pumps, and we keep a couple of gallons, couple of 2 gallons or so up at the shop in case somebody needs some. Most people are doing it themselves. You can walk into Walmart and pick it up, and they keep their own diesel exhaust fluid filled up, and a lot of guys will carry some with them, especially when they're pulling.
Yep.
And it's no big deal. Some of them fill. I think the GMs fill out under the hood. They got a spot out there, and I think Ford and Dodge fill in the same, right there where you put your diesel fuel in.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah. Wow.
But if you've got a diesel truck that needs brakes, shocks, suspension work, transmission service, any of that kind of stuff, we charge air conditioners on them. We do, oil.
Are you able to do front alignment on the bigger trucks?
Yes.
Can you?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And we can do all that stuff. Absolutely.
Interesting.
Yep. There's a lot of other shops around here, good repair shops that can do the engine repairs and engine maintenance and stuff. And but we can take care of anything else you need just about.
Wow. Can you believe we're starting September tomorrow?
No, I can't, Dale.
The last 4 months of the year.
I know. This year here, I've been busy with work and other things, and man, it is going by like a freight train.
Oh, it did. You know, I thought I'm going to camp 3 or 4 weekends this year, do this, do that. I haven't got one thing accomplished other than sweat during the humidity.
Yeah. Well,
Plus
exactly.
everything flooded, you know.
Yeah. Well, we all get busy, you
Yeah.
know, when we make ourselves very busy. That just seems to be our nature. And then the next thing you know, you look around and summer's over and everybody, you know, me included, me especially, looks around and goes, where did it go?
Mm-hmm.
Well, man, it went the same way it always goes. You just made yourself really busy and you didn't take time to enjoy it. That was
Yeah.
my fault. But, you know, it has been a quick, you see what time's rolling
Yeah.
right along. Here we are at Labor Day. And, guys, we're going to blink our eyes and it's going to be Happy Thanksgiving. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
The fair is going to be here in a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to look at the date.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. It's gonna be 2, 3
15th through the
Yeah.
end of the week. Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks. We got a fair going to be here. Things are going to get busy.
Yep.
It's
Cooler
gonna stay busy.
temperatures. I was talking a little bit. We got 3.5 minutes here, and that brings up a point about cooler temperatures.
Yep.
Now, it could be 75, 80 during the day, and it could be 45 to 55 at night.
Yep.
Tire pressure is going to change.
Sure.
We're going to be looking at the need for antifreeze and water pump and thermostats and service like that.
Right. We got a guy across the street from the shop, and he works over there, and he's a hard-working young man. And I see him a couple of times a week out there with a gallon jug of water poured it in the radiator on his car. And I keep thinking to myself, it's not going to be long. He's going to need to figure out where that leak's at and get it fixed, because that water's not going to work here in fairly short order. But yeah, you know, it's not going to be long until we're going to be doing a lot of antifreeze flushes. We're going to be getting people's heaters working. Our job, you know, we stay really busy, but it just the work we do just swaps around. And then we're going to change from keeping people cool to keeping them warm.
Yeah.
And you know, and all the things that go with that, like you saying, thermostats. You'll have a few issues with thermostats that are stuck open that really didn't make any difference in hot weather. But this when it gets cold and you need your heat to work at its best, and that thermostat's stuck open a little bit, then all of a sudden your heat's not what it should be.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have a lot of them, you know, mainly older cars, but we'll do a bunch where heater cores get plugged up.
Yep.
And you'll have to flush those cores out and get the crap out of them and get the heat working again. We do a lot of that stuff, and it's about that time.
Now, the dumbest question we ask, how can a closed system get clogged?
Well, it's just contamination. It comes a lot of times, you know, from
lack of maintenance.
Yeah, antifreeze has been in there too long.
Mm-hmm.
We've mixed the wrong kinds of antifreeze.
Yep.
You know, you see some of these vehicles that build up some rust in the cooling system. You know, everybody that works on cars can remember some of them old Ford Tauruses from back in the early 2000s. I think they's rusty from the factory. You know.
Don't hold back, Mike.
Well, I mean, you saw a lot of them.
Oh, I know.
And you'd pull the cap off that surge tank, and it's just mud. Looks like Mississippi mud, you know. We do a lot of that kind of stuff, and it plugs up a heater core.
It does.
And you can flush some water through there and knock that stuff out and get the heat going again. But, you know, it's not on all vehicles. It's just on certain ones. And if you've done a halfway decent job of keeping your cooling system maintained, odds are you're not going to have that issue, you know, of a plugged up heater core. It's probably not going to happen.
Well, anyway, Minute Mechanics located Highway 201 North, across from Salvation Army, and they'll do just about anything but spark plugs and diesel.
Yeah, we draw the line somewhere, you know. Got to. And
all major brands of motor oils in stock.
yes, yeah, we got a Pennzoil. We got a Pennzoil truck will be there today, and he's going to drop off a bunch. And the Amsoil stuff, man, and I've said it here lately a lot, but we have seen such a spike in synthetic oil changes in the last couple of years, and I'm going to say in the last year especially. More and more vehicles are going with this 0W20, this super light oil, and it's really available in a synthetic oil. And boy, we're seeing a big spike in synthetic oil changes, and we keep all of it.
Give Mike a call today, 425-3135. Be there Monday through Friday this week, 8 to 5. They're right across from Salvation Army on Highway 201 North. Mike and the gang look forward to serving you. Time for the news. We'll be right back.